We begin with President Obama in a CBS News interview. He says Russia must take steps now to reduce tensions over Ukraine.
The president just wrapped up 4 days of meetings with European allies. He is now on his way to visit the King of Saudi Arabia, another key U.S. partner. Before leaving Rome, the president talked to CBS Evening News anchor and managing editor Scott Pelley, who joins us from Vatican City. Scott, good morning.
Good morning, Clarissa. Charlie, great to be with you. A beautiful day here in Rome. We just spoke to the president at the U.S. Embassy here a short time ago. Russian troops, as you know, are building on the Russian side of the border with Ukraine. There is concern that Vladimir Putin has not finished with his land grab of Ukraine, has not finished with Crimea. We asked the president about that this morning. He urged Putin to pull back from his own border, to lower the tensions in the region. And here's a little part of that interview that we just did. Before this interview, you would have just received your intelligence briefing. What are you seeing on the Ukrainian border that worries you?
Well, this is not something that would be just in my briefing. I think it's well known and well acknowledged that you've seen a range of troops massing along that border under the guise of military exercises, but these are not what Russia would normally be doing. And it may simply be an effort to intimidate Ukraine, or it may be that they've got additional plans. And in either case, what we need right now to resolve and de-escalate the situation would be for Russia to move back those troops and to begin negotiations directly with the Ukrainian government as well as the international community.
What is Vladimir Putin after?
Well, if you take him at his word, then...
Can you?
Well, on this, I think he's been willing to show a deeply held grievance about what he considers to be the loss of the Soviet Union. You would have thought that after a couple of decades that there'd be an awareness on the part of any Russian leader that the path forward is not to revert back to the kinds of practices that were so prevalent during the Cold War, but in fact to move forward with further integration with the world economy and to be a responsible international citizen. He's said that he considers the breakup of the Soviet Union to be tragic. I think there's a strong sense of Russian nationalism and a sense that somehow the West has taken advantage of Russia in the past, and that he wants to, in some fashion, reverse that or make up for that. What I have repeatedly said is that he may be entirely misreading the West. He's certainly misreading American foreign policy. We have no interest in encircling Russia, and we have no interest in Ukraine beyond letting the Ukrainian people make their own decisions about their own lives. And it is true that we reject the notion that there is a sphere of influence along the Russian border that then justifies Russia invading other countries. Certainly they're going to have influence because of trade and tradition and language and heritage with Ukraine. Everybody acknowledges that. But there's a difference between that and sending in troops and because you're bigger and stronger, taking a piece of the country. That is not how international law and international norms are observed in the 21st century.
Scott, what did the president say about NATO's response so far?
Well, we asked the president, Charlie, about NATO and asked him whether it was really a hollowed out force at this point. 85% of U.S. forces have been removed from Europe since 1989. We used to have 400,000 troops there. Now we have about 50,000 troops there. The president made the point that it is up to all of the NATO allies to contribute. Germany, Britain, the rest of them to contribute to the forces there in order to have a credible force as a counterweight against Vladimir Putin's Russia.
And Scott, did the president say what the U.S. will do if Vladimir Putin pushes further into eastern Ukraine?
Well, he wouldn't be specific, Clarissa, but he did say that there would be more economic sanctions brought to bear, not just by the United States, but by the world community. Yesterday, there was a vote at the United Nations, and 100 countries to 11 voted in favor of a resolution that condemned the invasion of Crimea. So the president really feels he has the backing of most of the world, and he hopes that these economic sanctions will be enough to deter Putin.
Scott, thank you so much.